Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat star Jimmy Butler responds to Pat Riley's sharp comments. Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler showed up with no gimmick in this year's NBA Media Day. Unlike the past years when he came trolling the media with different looks, from dreadlocks in 2022 to emo in 2023, Butler surprised everybody by showing up with his game day look this time. Butler meant serious business on a contract year and after getting admonished by Heat president Pat Riley over his lack of availability, which contributed to the lack of extension talks this past summer. No shenanigans, Butler told reporters. I always want to hoop, always want to compete with my guys, Butler added. I hear him, Riley. Riley put Butler on notice during his exit press conference in May. The Heat's no-nonsense top executive repeatedly talked about players' availability during his 43-minute presser, including blasting the NBA's 65-game eligibility rule, which he believes sent the players and their agents a message that it's okay to miss 17 games in the regular season. Riley even shared he had already had a discussion about this with Butler's agent. I see what he's talking about, Butler said during the Heat Media Day. I'm going to play as many games as I can. Butler is notorious for lying low during the regular season and switching to playoff Jimmy mode in the postseason. He has never played more than 64 games since moving to Miami in 2019. The 35-year-old Heat star did not get his extension this summer, making him a flight risk after this season. Butler holds a $52.4 million player option for the 2025-26 season but is currently extension eligible and can sign a one-year, $58.6 million extension tucked into the final year of his current deal or a two-year, $112.9 million extension that would void the player option, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. But Riley wants to see Butler shape up first before making a huge financial commitment to the six-time NBA All-Star in his late 30s. We don't have to do that for a year, Riley told reporters about Butler's extension while speaking to reporters during his exit interview on May 6. And so, we have not discussed that internally right now, but we have to look at that, making that kind of commitment. Behind the job title with Srinivas Phatak from a 3-year plan to 24 years of impact. We are going behind the job title with Srinivas Phatak, our deputy CFO and controller, who has spent over 2 decades at Unilever, navigating 12 different roles across 3 countries. Originally joining the company with a 3-year plan, his Unilever download after averaging 22.9 points, 5.9 rebounds and 5.3 assists to lead the Heat to the NBA Finals in the 2023-24 season. Butler's averages dropped to 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds and 5.0 assists last season, and he was limited to 60 games due to injuries and personal absence as he mourned the death of a family member. His season ended in their play-in tournament loss to the Philadelphia 76ers with a knee injury. The absence of an extension contract led to speculations about Butler's future in Miami. The Brooklyn Nets, who will have the most cap room next summer, have been floated as a potential landing spot for Butler. Butler likes Brooklyn, according to sources close to the player, New York Post's Brian Lewis wrote on August 31. Marks projected the Nets to have as much as $70 million in cap space to fast-start their rebuild. Butler is represented by Bernie Lee, who also handles Nets star Ben Simmons' career. Butler and Simmons played together in Philadelphia for one season in 2018-19 following his dramatic exit from Minnesota. Nas Little explains why he bet on himself and signed with Heat. They wanted me the most. When Nas Little was waived by the Phoenix Suns in late August, he didn't have much time to find a new NBA home before training camps opened around the league. But that didn't deter the 2019 first-round pick. I was confident that something would show up, Little, 24, said. Whether it was guaranteed or not, I just felt like I needed an opportunity. I believe in myself enough to make the most of it. So Little immediately went searching for that opportunity, working out for 4 teams: the Miami Heat, Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors, and Sacramento Kings. At the end of the month-long process, Little bet on himself and signed a 1-year fully non-guaranteed deal to join the Heat with the intention of earning a roster spot by impressing during training camp and the preseason. The Heat has until October 19 at 5 p.m. to decide whether to cut Little without him ever counting against the salary cap, luxury tax, and aprons, or incur his daily cap hit by keeping him on its roster for the start of the regular season. With Miami, I just feel like they valued the type of player that I am the most, Little said when asked why he chose to sign a non-guaranteed deal with the Heat. Yeah, there were other opportunities. But I just felt like the reputation that Miami has with players like myself and just the conversations that I had with the staff around here, it wasn't to that extent with any of the other organizations. I just felt like they wanted me, and I think that's kind of what matters. When it comes to making decisions like that, you want the team that you're considering to want you as much as you want to go there. I definitely feel like they wanted me the most. The Heat may have wanted Little the most, but that doesn't mean he'll definitely make the cut for the regular season, despite having one open spot on its 15-man roster. That decision could come down to dollars, as Little's full salary for the season would push the Heat above the ultra-punitive second apron. The Heat stands just $1.6 million from crossing the second apron, and Little's per-day cap hit once the regular season begins would be $13,939, according to ESPN's Bobby Marks. If Little is kept on the Heat's roster for the full season, his cap hit would be more than $2 million, enough to push the Heat past the second apron if it doesn't shed other salary in this scenario. By staying under the second apron for now with only 14 fully guaranteed standard contracts for this season, the Heat is still allowed to aggregate salaries in a trade or send out cash in a trade. But because Miami is already above the first apron, it can't take back more salary in a trade than it sends out. I respect that he's willing to do it, to bet on himself, to bet on development at this point, Spoelstra said of Little, with the Heat in the Bahamas through Saturday for training camp at Baja March, because when you're a former first-round pick, you probably do have some opportunities if you're patient to explore. He wanted to invest in development that will be longer-lasting. And there are no guarantees. Cavaliers superstar opens up about Miami Heat trade speculation. The Miami Heat's star-hunting summer is at a close, with Cleveland Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell ending as the most sought-after target. The Heat appeared to closely monitor Mitchell's contract situation in Cleveland before he eventually signed a 3-year, $150 million extension. The 5-time All-Star admitted there was never serious consideration of landing with the Heat or elsewhere. For me, it was just a no-brainer. I've known for a little bit that this was my decision, Mitchell said at the Cavs media day. It's finally good to have a media day where we're not talking about where I'm going next. You can lay your roots somewhere that you actually want to be. I think that's special. Miami's front office was eyeing a big three of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Mitchell. This trio had the potential to make serious noise in the improved Eastern Conference, as Butler and Mitchell are two of the best playoff risers. It was kind of funny watching everybody say that this is how I'm feeling, but I knew, Mitchell said. It's refreshing. I'm glad that we're here and I'm excited to be here. Not only did the Heat miss out on landing a superstar talent like Mitchell, but also lost a key rotation piece in Caleb Martin. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Donovan Mitchell? Leave your opinion in the comments.